Let me speak to you now regarding peripherals and accessories for Videofied panels. We have several devices that can help complete and complement a Videofied system. This is the indoor Videofied motion viewer. It has a PIR, passive infrared motion detector. It has a digital video camera and 2 infrared illuminators. It's all integrated. The field of view of the motion detector is the same field of view as the camera, meaning what this sees, this sees. Everything is battery powered. This means you need no wires. It's very easy to place these and mount them where they're needed without having to run a wire. You'll see here that we have 3 AA batteries in the motion viewer. We have a very large microprocessor, wall and cover tamper switch. But what's happening is when the motion viewer detects motion, it takes a 10-second video, and this microprocessor compresses that 10 seconds into a 200K MPEG-1 file. So it's a very small file that's being sent from the motion viewer to the panel and then onto the central station. This is the Videofied outdoor motion viewer. This is designed for harsh outdoor environments, meaning it goes from -20 below Fahrenheit or -33°C to 140 or +70°C. It's waterproof. It's IP65 rated. They've actually gone through hurricanes. What's different and special about this motion viewer is there's a very sophisticated PIR. It's not the same as we have in our indoor product. This PIR has dynamic sensitivity adjustment based on the ambient temperature. As the temperature approaches 98 degrees, it gets more and more sensitive because you have a 98-degree body moving on a 98-degree field. As it gets colder than that, it gets less sensitive to a point. We're based in Minnesota, and we know what winters are. And once you go below freezing and then below zero, nobody in their right mind is walking around in shorts. So the PIR actually gets more sensitive to pick up people in down coats, hats, and mittens. This motion viewer can take up to 3,000 videos on a single set of batteries, or last up to 4 years in normal use. It's very easy to install. The outdoor motion viewer comes with a integrated nut where the typical video mounting arms work, so it's very simple to put up. A very easy application is the bucket cam. What the bucket cam consists of is an outdoor motion viewer mounted on a pipe that's stuck in a 5-gallon bucket of concrete. So you can move the security system anywhere you need to. If you need security there, you move it there. You need it here, you move your bucket here. It's very simple to install, very easy to move. This is the Videofied outdoor Siren strobe. We have a strobe and a very loud siren. The siren is not just piezo. As you see in so many sirens, it's also pushing air. So the speaker in here, the sound travels much farther than a typical piezo siren. It's all battery powered, it's waterproof, and will stand up to harsh environments. And this can be mounted anywhere. It goes from, again, 20 below 0 Fahrenheit to plus 140 above. What's unique about it is that it's entirely battery powered and entirely wireless, using the same sophisticated RF that we use in our system. So the installer can simply go out and mount this under the eave of a house or on the wall of a commercial building, and it not only provides deterrence, but the strobe at night allows the police to know exactly where they're going without having to look at the house numbers. It's all waterproof. You'll see that there's a tamper on the back, so that if somebody attempts to knock this off, this tamper switch, or take it down, will alert the central station that something is happening. This is the Videofied indoor siren. The siren is not just piezo. There's an actual speaker in here that's pushing air, which is important because you get louder sound farther away. It also has an enunciator built in, so that it enunciates the beeps of your entry-exit delay and tells you the status of what's going on in the system. It's battery powered, meaning you can place it anywhere in the home without having to run wires to power it. It also uses Videofied's military-grade RF to communicate to the panel, so you get exceptional range. You'll notice on the back that there's a cover wall tamper switch, so if somebody tries to remove this, the central station is going to get a tamper signal and you're going to know about it. This is a very unique peripheral. It's our prox card arming station. Videofied has developed an outdoor arming station that uses a very simple prox card. The way that it works is you take the prox card, you approach the arming station, it reads it, and you get both a visual and an audio feedback that you're getting in arming. The red and green blink means it's arming, and I have the audio beep beep during the entry-exit delay. When you disarm the system, you get a double green and it disarms it. What's unique about this product and why it's very useful is that I can place this outdoors. It operates from -20 below Fahrenheit to +140 above. And I can place it at the perimeter or outside the perimeter of the actual area being secured. So instead of having to enter the perimeter and access a keypad that's inside some housing or inside the building, I can place the proximity reader right on the fence and arm or disarm before I even enter it. It's IP65 weatherproof rated. It's wall cover tamper, and it uses the same military-grade RF radio as the rest of the Videofied system, so it gets exceptional range. We're using many of these to secure both commercial and residential buildings, and it's a great addition to the residential Videofied XL. Place this outside by the garage entry or on a shed. One feature that's very unique about the Videofied prox card arming station is that we have a capacitive sensor that actually turns on the antenna. The way that the prox cards work is that these are passive. There's no electricity in a prox card. There's no battery. They're very robust. They can go through a washing machine and still work. The way that this operates then is that the antenna is energized by the power of the reader. This reader, if it was energizing that antenna 24/7 all the time, the battery would have to be the size of a small chair to keep it going for 4 years. The way that we've overcome that is there's a capacitive reader that senses mass inside the device so that when my hand approaches it, it energizes the antenna looking for a card. So you saw that it beeped and blinked red, but it was just looking for a card. Nothing happened because I didn't have the prox card with me. When I approach my hand here with the prox card, it energizes the antenna and arms the system. It's a very unique, very special device to allow you to arm and disarm the system anywhere, right at the perimeter, with no trenching, no running cables, no trying to get wires out to the fence. It's entirely battery operated. This is the Videofied Universal Contact indoor. It's a very simple device. It has a switch on it that trips and it will give a contact ID signal back to the central station. What's nice about this is it's entirely battery powered. One AA that will last for 4 years in a typical install. And we have an integrated terminal strip, so this can operate third-party sensors. It uses the same military-grade RF that the rest of the Videofied devices use for very good range and ease of placement in a residence or a commercial building. This is the Videofied remote. It has a rolling code. It uses the same robust RF military grade that the rest of the Videofied system uses for very good range. It has 4 buttons, so it allows for multiple arming programs at the Videofied panel, and is a built-in duress button. It gives you audio feedback when you arm and disarm the system. As simple as just pushing the on button if you want it. It'll give you a double beep and give you the entry-exit delay right on the remote. You can also disarm it. This can be kept in your pocket along with your keychain, and it's very good for remotely arming and disarming a system when you're not present physically in the building. This is the Videofied smoke detector. It uses state-of-the-art sophisticated technology to detect smoke. It's all battery powered like the other devices in the Videofied system, and it uses the same military-grade RF to get maximum range between the smoke detector itself and the panel. In addition to being integrated to the Videofied system, also has a standalone mode. So if everything else in the system or home fails and this detects smoke, you still get the local siren and a local annunciation so that you know that there's something happening and you can act accordingly. Videofied also sells third-party accessories to maximize the performance of the system. This is a Yagi antenna, which we use to extend cell range in areas where the cell range is questionable. It's being used in West Texas oil fields. It's being used in mountainous areas where the cell signal is weak. And what it does fundamentally is to take an omnidirectional signal that's in the panel and focus that omnidirectional cell signal in a 30-degree cone. So you get a directional antenna with the same amount of energy. It's passive, it's still battery powered, but the same amount of energy now is only going in a 30-degree cone on both transmission and reception. So you can go out and get a 14 dB gain using a Yagi. It's nice because the Videofied keypad actually tells you the signal strength on site to allow you to point the Yagi to the nearest cell tower and actually get signal in areas where the signal will be too weak to use. This is another third-party device that Videofied sells to maximize the performance of the system. This attaches to the panel, and whereas the panel has a very small antenna, we're taking additional increments of the frequency used in the panel, and in an antenna like this, you can get extended coverage or extended range between the panel and all the devices, not just on transmitting, but also on receiving. So if you're in an extremely large area, a large building, a large home, or you have to put the panel, or desire to put the panel in some place where it's very difficult to get RF, this is a very good option. There's a coax cable between this and the panel, so you can actually hide this antenna out of sight and get better range.